A lot of people ask, what noises do they make? There's a distinctive clicking type of noise. I can't. That's not it. It's a little faster, and kind of in short spurts, 3 or 4 clicks, and they can range the pitch of the clicks a little bit into a higher pitch. But I heard those noises often, both during my abductions and when they were down on the ground. I could also hear the sound of them scampering around on the ground a couple times. Certainly out in the woods a few times. I could hear them all around me. Now again, talk about learning to get over fear. My point is, essentially, that I've been there, and I've been scared. And fear is an entirely normal part of this. And it's something you just have to work through slowly. There's a phrase that I often use called, quote-unquote, petting the tiger. And my personality kind of really strongly goes along with petting the tiger, but I'll go into that later. But something I want to tell you guys first is I actually saw them on the ground. The first time I saw them on the ground, I knew something was coming, and I knew it was going to be a major encounter. At that point, though, I had just seen things up in the sky, and I expected it to be something else like that. I expected him to come down real low. I went to an exact location they told me to go to. That was, I don't know, 45 miles away from my house, something like that. And I kind of drove around nervously and all that, and I had a telepathic conversation ahead of time saying, okay, the ball's in your court. I'm ready for, whatever you want to do. I, again, was expecting something to come down real close from the sky, not actually beings on the ground. I had 3 what appeared to me to be tall grays run at me. I guess run is the best word. It was more of a float type of motion. In addition to that, I couldn't really see the feet. I was looking up a hill, so I could see the heads, the shoulders, and down a little bit, up above the hill in the lit background a little bit, because there's a big city close by. But down below, where the ground was, I couldn't see the feet moving. But it sure seemed like a gliding motion by the movement of the heads more than it did a running motion. But you know what I did, guys? You know what I did to everyone who's afraid? I cried like a little girl, and I ran. I tried to run back down this hill. I ran and cried. It's pretty scary shit. Am I glad I did it? Yeah, I'm glad I did it. I actually cried many times after that in the days to follow because I felt so freaking bad about it. They trusted me that much, and I ran and cried. Entirely ridiculous. For all the time that I spent to see something that amazing, I still ran and cried. On instinct alone. So let me get back real quick to this phrase I use called petting the tiger. And like I said, it kind of goes along with my personality. I'm the kind of guy who wants to pet the freaking tiger. Why? I don't know. And by petting the tiger, I mean do something dangerous, do something exciting, do something normal people wouldn't do. That's just me. Always has been, always will be, I imagine. Why do I want to pet the tiger? I don't know, but I want to freaking pet the tiger. How do you pet the tiger? Well, you got to walk up to the damn tiger to pet it, right? Terrifying. Point being, the way to get over your fear is to just want to do something bad enough to be willing to walk up to a tiger to do it. Should it take that level of commitment? Do it slowly, in small steps. You don't want to run up to the tiger, walk up to him. And that is the best advice I have on how to get over the fear. It's difficult, it takes a long time. Stay calm, and everybody's got to do it their own way. What made me talk about this week was I received an email from a guy on my Facebook account, actually. And he had heard the show or heard the YouTube videos or whatever, and wanted to write me just to talk a little bit about his experiences, which I won't say anything about, and hopefully we'll see him at the website here soon. But apparently he had some pretty intense experiences, including some scars to his body, which a lot of abductees have, myself included. And he went on and on a little bit, and I encouraged him to come to our website, alienaddictions.com, and to post his story there, and to allow me to, give some insight there as to what I know from his specific experiences, and also to let everybody else of the website, lend their support and give some ideas as well. And at that point, he wrote me back and told me that he had just been diagnosed with some sort of schizophrenic disorder because he went to a doctor and talked about this, which broke my heart. And hopefully he does come to the site and talk to us and share his experiences. Because a lot of people have done that, and I greatly appreciate it. And it really helps to have some people to talk to. But I want to touch real quickly on how abductees are treated. In medicine, at least. And we have some hardcore scientists on the website, so I'm sure this will spark a discussion. Psychologists diagnose hearing voices as schizophrenia. It's symptom number one, basically, of schizophrenia. Now, is schizophrenia real? I imagine it probably is a real mental illness. That said, I also want to take a second to point out to everyone who believes in psychologists and all that they do, I want to point out that most religious people who go to church feel as though God has spoken to them personally at some point while praying. That's how they see it, not as a disease. And I also want to point out to the religious folks that prayer is a telepathic conversation between you and an angel, maybe God himself. Hard to say a lot of times who's on the other end. But I want everybody to think about that a little bit and try to keep that in the front of your mind when thinking about alien abductions or alien abductees, trying to decide whether or not you should believe them. That's one that gets me every time. Let me tell you, as somebody who's done this, there is no, from what I've found, financial motivation to do this to yourself, to your family, to your life. None. It seems to me pretty much every freaking alien abductee who's come forward they share one trait. They're broke. They're absolutely broke, myself included. But I want you to think about it when maybe leaning on schizophrenia as a reason why this happens. Don't do that. Religious folks call it prayer. Alien abductees call it telepathic communication. We're all talking about the same thing. The only difference is that medicine likes to label things as illnesses. And I think when you're doing that with people's thoughts, you're on a real slippery slope. Religious folks and alien abductees feel that when they're doing it, they're talking to a being that is an angel. Kind of a black and white type of contrast there, but just something to keep an open mind about. Also keep in mind that as abductees, it's extraordinarily difficult just to live day-to-day life a lot of times. A lot of us become consumed with this, and not by our choice. It just happens to some of us. A certain group of us. So it's just something to think about. And to my new friend who emailed me on Facebook, I hope we see you on the website soon. Alienaddictions.com. Come let us know about your experiences. Come just make friends and hang in there. I don't want to say don't stress about what the doctors say, but just consider the angle they're looking at it from. They've gone to a lot of school, yeah, but I think we've all been to school, and I think the older most of us get, we realize that the more school is kind of the opposite spectrum from real world. So a lot of school to me a lot of times equates a big hurdle for somebody to get over. As great of surgeons or whatever as they may be, as much as I appreciate that, when it comes to things like this, quite frankly, it's a religious matter more than it is a medical matter, in my opinion. All right, Space Chickens, we're going to take a real quick little music break, and we'll be back. Again, go check us out, www.alienaddictions.com. It's a great website to go check out. We've always got a big group in chat while the show's on live, so why don't you go say hi to everybody there and join up. Check out our forum, and you can upload videos and make your own little user page, all sorts of great stuff at alienaddictions.com there. Coming up in hour number 2, we're going to talk a little bit about the pyramids and this recent announcement that was made about what is inside the pyramids.